Let's see who's ready. Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom. Rise wherever you can. Find that shine. Even on a cloudy day, even in minus weather, you can't see the cold, but I can feel the cold. Victor. I needed a jacket so bad last night, thanks to my friend crashing on the couch. I am not in the cold. And I'm thinking of positivity in the morning and not the negativity that wanted to absorb my mind this morning. It was like, boom. I woke up thinking about my ex girlfriend, and I don't even think she even knows that I'm even thinking about her. And I think about her often. And she probably thinks it's the other girl. And that was just so funny. That's our negative thoughts, bro. That's that dark side thinking. You know what I'm saying? You didn't, no, I mean, you didn't think I was you didn't even think I was thinking about you because all you do is think darkness. And I'm just like letting it known. We all do. And this is Saint's Addiction, Leg Out, Mark Saint, Morning Motivation. Let's go. So, got my morning motivation on, a little spliffy going on here. I'm going to roll it and chill with you. With the homie, we were playing chess, eating snacks, and watching movies last night. It's cool to be one of the bulls, maybe. Stretch out. Oh, especially on the cold days. It was snowing last night. Yeah. Last night it was fucking snowing. The temperatures are dropping. And I didn't want my attitude to drop. That's right. I didn't want my thoughts to go to the dark side. I didn't want for my shit to go back and reverse into the feelings that are so seductive. I mean, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you want to go down memory lane, right? If you want to go down memory lane, it will take you and suck you in to a whole vortex of feelings like, remember when we were so close together? Remember how much love we used to have? I wonder if she's banging someone else. And I was just like, Mark, you are not in your appreciation this morning. You know what I mean? Like, you aren't living like a person that is actually grateful, right? We all have a way to sneak out of our gratitude. Even now, I'm watching the TV, and the woman picks up these random strangers, and she's already smoking a cigarette. It's like we all have a naughty side inside of us. We all have a dark side inside of us. You can call it the addiction side. I know that's what I call it. Saint's Addiction. That's what I call it. It's my honestly flawed. It's my brain playing tricks on me. Do 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 do. Near 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 near. It's all of those things. It's jumping in your head and thinking dread. It's being up here and making it messy instead of being in here and making it bright and shiny. We have a tendency to go the dark side. We'll want to look into that novel, that model, that situation, and look at it and analyze it with this other side of us. And you call it your limbic brain, right back here, the lizard brain, right past your Abdullah oblongata. Yeah, that's a big word, right? But when you go past your Abdullah oblongata, you can get a chance to think clearly. And then I was watching my friend. He was sitting there. He didn't have his kids. He was just chilling. John Yakovic, I see you, bro. Chilling. And it's like, he didn't know what to do with himself. He's filming everything. He's filming his lunch sitting in the car. He's taking pictures and selfies by himself, talking about reflection. And in a weird way, we reach out for attention. We'll be like, I'm an attention whore. The other girl's doing the splits, and she knows she's on video and just totally trying to outperform everyone. And it was just like, you don't say, I'm thirsty for attention. I'm a thirst trap. I need this kind of attention and affection. That's not what we say. We act out outwardly, right? And all of a sudden we're wearing less clothes. It's a little bit more revealing. And then you're like, why are you wearing that? Maybe because I'm lonely inside. Maybe because I want my pussy licked, Becky. It's not going to lick itself. And that's all of us. All of us doing something secretively, like the clothes that we wear. Right? Don't talk to me, I'm demure, or don't approach me, I have on all black, or I'm not the one, let me put on my headphones. How many of us are like that? How many of us are like that? Don't touch me, don't talk to me. I have my hand up. I'm not to be approached. My resting bitch face is on tight, and there's nothing you can do to make me feel all right. Is there anything you can do to make you feel all right? Is there any other thoughts that you can bring except for negativity to bring yourself up from the fucking position that you're in? This is the question. This is the ultimate question of all questions that you could ever think, is like, how do I get me right without me fucking up and getting tight? You know what I mean? And that's get it tight, get it right, tight. You know, to get your mind tight, and not into loose abandon of thoughts and thoughts of abandonment and negativity and going backwards to those other things. Like, oh, let's go to all the not feel good thoughts. You know, and I was thinking, wow, my fucking brain is a fucking trip. It would rather think of breakups and my ex with someone else, or clouded thoughts, as we have a cloudy day. You know, one of my shirt designs is the clouded thoughts designs, and it's just so fucking true. I'm so grateful to have some kind weed this morning. You know, it's so fucking true. Like, why would I make my castle, my brain, the whole ship master commander, in a position to fucking leave myself worse off than I found myself? Why can't I pump myself full of the goods without fucking smoking a cigarette or believing my negativity or going there? You know, how many times have you sat there looking at the fucking TV or your life and went like, man, it all went wrong. I wish I would have done woulda, shoulda, coulda, and I would have done it differently. I would have exercised more, but my brain started letting me down. Or I would have gone outside more, but these thoughts started to weigh me down. And I was just like, how long do you want to live in those kind of feelings? How long do you want to be that way? And these are the kind of questions I have to ask every day. It was like, okay, if that thought wants to come up, how long do I want to let it live? And most people don't give their thoughts time limits. You know what I mean? They don't go, okay, well, shit, if I really wanted to dabble into regret, or if I really wanted to dabble into history, if I want to go in the way, way, way back machine, reminiscing, right? And we all can reminisce, you know, how long am I going to be at this? How long will I live in that thought in my brain and be like, okay, before I go and say, I would like to think about my childhood for 30 minutes. No, what ends up happening is we go on a whole fucking tangent. We'll live in that struggle. We'll live in that situation in our mind all day and night. You know what I mean? And we don't have a time limit for these things, these emotions. They just live with us, and we're just like, okay, I guess today, what happened to you all day? And you're like, well, I just sat in my bed thinking about my ex, or my past, or regrets, or whatever other vibration that isn't of creation. We live there. We live in these modes where we're like, okay, you know, I want to just feel all right instead of actually be all right, you know? And this kind of thing is all in the thoughts. It's all in the patterns. It's all in the ability to pump ourselves full of better thoughts, better actions, better living, right? Papa John's, you know, better ingredients. But that's up to us. That really, that digging, that channel surfing, as I put on the TV earlier, without choking on my words and spit, you know, that was our opportunity to quit thinking of bullshit, to quit going down the wrong roads, to hey, you probably already know that road really well, especially if it's depression and it wants to play what went wrong over and over again in our heads. Then that's dread. That's not thoroughness. That's not happiness. That's some fucking negativity that we do all the time to ourselves. And then we live there. We live in this world where the thoughts become dark, and we allow them to, instead of looking out into life and saying what will be. It's already what happened. And they say a fool only trips over what's behind them. I get it. You know, this is the kind of situation that I'm talking about. This is the stuff of legends, if you will, that you have the same situation happen to you, right? All of us do. But what do we do about it? That is the question. You know, it's not the situation that happens to you, because everybody's going to have a situation befall them, and they're going to have to fall a bit, right? But do you turn around and enjoy it? Do you put your face into the wind and go sailing? Or do you say it's too windy and stay inside? You know, these dark thoughts, they start to abide. They start to park us, right? They start to be excuses. They start to literally twinkle, 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 baby, twinkle, twinkle in our faces, in our heads, in our minds, in our lives. And we go into this realm where we fantasize or fixate on scenarios or situations or emotions, and we say, okay, that's what I want to deal with today. I want to slowly vacillate over my ex-girlfriend or pout a bit on a situation that's already happened and re-tap in to that feeling. Like, that's what we're doing. We're channeling a feeling. And for all those that don't know, that sucks, because now instead of feeling the way you want to feel, right? Instead of feeling the way you want to feel, guess what you end up doing? Right. You end up stuck feeling the darkness. You end up stuck feeling anti-light. You end up being trapped in this body, in this life. Now you can't leave from your own thoughts. You're a prisoner in your own mind. And this is the worst place to be. And I've been there before, so trust me. We are live. Trust me, it's not a place that I want to live in. The negativity of my mind where things all went wrong, it already happened. And I can't really do anything about it except for live in the now and not let it bother me. Not let it steal any more of today's joy. Today's a fresh day. What already happened is spent and gone. We're wasting food here. But I want to live. Now is the difference. Vessi. That means water. Vessi. Vetta. Give me some water. Yeah. Vessi, vetta. You know? Comietta is the morning motivation. I'm going to get this. There's the joint right there. Yeah. This is the house that I'm staying at, a typical Finland house where they have a couple, you know, every door is double doored from the cold. This is how you keep the heat out. You double window it. The outside window stays cold, but there's a little bit of ferns. I'm on this couch for the weekend, sitting here watching games and situations and, you know, all of it, all of the old radios and books. And my friend uses vinyls, which is really cool. If you ever get a chance, real fucking vinyls, bro. How cool is that? How cool is that? Yeah. Donna Summers. Ooh. And it used to all come down to the record label. That's the one shot you got. Now we get like a whole reel of things, and I'm just keeping it real. I love the art. I love the female form. Coats everywhere. Your boy Saint. My buddy cut this out for political season. He won't stop. Hi, everybody. I'm Mark Saint. I'm ready to vote for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Welcome to the typical Finnish home. Don't want to leave it alone. Plenty of trash from my nose. Yeah, always in the home. Always is the bread kitchen cutting knife. Always is the eggs. All of you worried about eggs. Guess what? Plenty of fucking eggs, man. Plenty of fucking eggs. Maybe we make some this morning. Yogurty strawberry mix. A white male that doesn't know how to do his own dishes. These guys are getting sloppy, man. I keep telling them, pick up after yourself, but nobody wants to listen. That's fine. Right side of life. Oh, I need the other one to do it again. There we go. Right side of life. If you're lucky, there will be some bunnies. Yep, I can already see one by the tree. The little bunnies are out here. They come back and forth right down to the bomb shelter. Yeah, that's a fucking full-on nuclear bomb shelter. Look how cold it is. You can't even see it. There's barely any clouds. There's literally raining. There it is. Oh, that's a bird. But yeah, that's the bright side of life. You know? And that's a choice to be able to say, hey, you know, I want to feel this way. I don't want to feel that way anymore. I want to have my morning motivated instead of desperated, or is that even a word? Like we get into some weird moments in our lives, and I don't want people to stay that way. I don't want to stay cold. I don't want them to stay negative. I don't want to be stuck in a thought. I want it to be able to see it, that I have shifters in my brain where I choose the gear instead of the gear choosing me. And the gear usually wants to stick in a certain position. It's really hard to get ourselves to unstick. Ooh, allergies. Ooh, or situations, that is. Hold on. Wow. Snot everywhere. Yo, it's real springtime out there, boys and girls. And it can't get warm enough, fast enough. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do. We get all frustrated in our heads, stay in that mode, stay in that zone, and wonder why we can't shake it. Wonder why we can't go into a different room and create motion and emotion in our life. Wonder how we get stuck in these situations and have no idea why we're there. Why am I in this thought? Why has it occupied me for days, weeks, and months? That's what it's like. It's like having no transmission. Your engine is going, but you can't shift the gear. You can't get the tires in motion. You can't transfer all of this engine energy into motion, into forward thinking, into direction. And this is what I'm talking about. The shifting inside of us, it's happening. But do we have the steering wheel? Do we have the ability to put our foot on the clutch and put a little bit, take the foot off the clutch and put a little bit of gas? Does anybody else know how to stick shift, or is it just me? Right. Yeah, typical. Ruispalet bread. This is Finnish bread, very good. Rye. This is only in Finland. Apparently, they get down with the salt, curated vinegar pickles. I was looking around. This is a typical Finnish room. Look how skinny this refrigerator is. I am literally wider than a fridge, bro. I work out. You know what I mean? This is so cool. They recycle their beers. They don't do their dishes. This needs a once over. It really needs a woman. You know what I mean? Like maybe there was a woman that lived here a long time ago, but we work on these things, and we should work on ourselves. And this is why I'm having this conversation this morning. Motivation is because it's hard. It's hard to shift yourself in a gear. Just like learning how to do a stick shift, right? It's not going to be easy, but once you learn how to shift your thoughts, it does become easier. It does become, oh wait, I'm not being very grateful right now, or I just shut you. You're not doing what the fuck you're told. There you go. What's up? Rock your body. Cold ass weather. And that's what I do. I get up in the morning, I adjust my thoughts. I start shifting in my head, in the bed, before anything else happens. I fucking get up and I say to myself, what am I grateful for? No. Keep your eyes closed. Don't think about your ex-girlfriend. Don't go there. Don't go to that dark side. You ain't going to spend that much more time. And then I remind myself, you've been there before. Days without brushing your teeth. Days walking around empty inside. Holding a battle inside myself instead of holding space for creativity and what I can be and what I can feel. I've been there. And it doesn't feel good. It's like a drug. You do it to stop feeling the pain, but it doesn't make you feel good, right? It doesn't elevate you like weed does. Weed gives me that, life is to be relaxed, Mark. It gives me that pause for the cause. Just like I was talking about my friend. You know what I mean? There's got to be something where you control you. You have to work on your transmission. And I'm not talking about the currency. I'm not talking about just the car transmission, the currency coming into you and transmit these things into. Maybe I need a journal. Maybe I need a workout. Maybe I need some closure. I don't know, but it all came back flooding. And I was just like, you know what? With T minus 16 days to my birthday, do I really want to live any more of my days talking about my friends dying? Shout out to Nicole Ramos. I told my friend this morning, her boyfriend reached out to him and was just like, man, kids, people younger than me are dying. She was 2 grades below me in high school. And she left behind 2 kids. One day you're not going to wake up. One day your heart's going to quit. And that heart attack means the end of the game for her. And for me, it means to live more, exist more, do more. She would have wanted me to travel. She would have wanted me to, she loved the fact that I would had a show and that I did something with my life, and that's what this is about. Doing something instead of just sitting something, instead of vacillating and contemplating and going in this roller coaster of your mind and the emotional wheelhouse that we all have. I wanted to shift. And so I said, why are you always so positive? Because I kind of want to shift. I've been down here before, bro. As above, so below. And it used to drive me crazy. It used to not be a safe place up here for me. And that's what you need to do. Create your safe place. Almost like the movie. You remember when he kissed his hand and created the moisture in Fight Club and it burned his skin? And he said, don't be a bitch. Don't try to escape to it. And he slapped him across the face and he tried to go to this penguin place with Marla and think about the girl and think about the negativity and go there. Wow, slap that shit right the fuck out of you, bro. Stop the shit out of yourself, bro. That's not the realm you want to be in. You want to be here. Yeah, it's causing me pain, but my brain is somewhere else. That's what Fight Club's about. That's that kind of focus I'm talking about. That I'm not living in that realm. Especially when people start going there. I'm like, can we change the subject, please? You want to talk about politics, not me? And that's my transmission. I transmit my energy to the world through the morning motivation, but it's also the education of shifting your mind, like these files, and going, okay, are we going to go down memory lane? Or are we going to create a new document? Dear document, it's your boy Marky Saint. I want to think different thoughts. Okay, what else? Change the subject. Change the channel. Change the fucking TV. Turn this TV off. Thank you, Kendrick Lamar. Thank you, Lyrics on Shirts. Turn this TV off. When my friend's sitting there by the ocean, maybe, yeah, he should have got off his phone, but that's where you contemplate. Looking at the ocean and saying to yourself, I can do better. You know what I mean? I can think better. I can do better. And don't believe me, just watch. I believe me, so I watch myself shift. I believe me, so I watch myself transist. The transistor revolutionized the whole. It's the transistor is the chip industry now. It's just transferring all that information to a different file and letting myself process it. Allowing myself the time to process the thoughts instead of disregard them or deny them or subjugate them, because then it comes out in an addiction. How you doing? Oh, I'm great. My friend said, are you all right? No, I'm not all right. I just saw my ex-girlfriend and I started drinking. That makes me not okay. And be able to say that to myself, okay, you're not okay. What are my conditions for getting okay? What are my coping mechanisms, if you will? And that's a big fucking question. How do I allow myself to get coping? How do I get myself back in the game so I know how to fucking deal with me. So I can be in a better position in a warmer room. Yes, please. So that way I can start processing better. As simple as this. I just don't want anybody else to just exist and persist, but shift, you know? Get your little shifter gear out, you know? Get outside the house. You know what I mean? Be free enough to say, this new me, the new version of me that I want to see, this new version of me doesn't just get to sit and be in a negative realm. Oh, I got my hoodie back. Yes, 3D printed shirts, bro. The Venticular Designs. 3D weed on shirts. Your boy Marky saying, I got my gear back, bro. I got my gear back, bro. Yes, go to weed on shirts. I'll make you one. But yeah, that's how we do it. We get into our lives and we say, you know what? I don't want to live in the dark zone. I don't want to go to the dark side. That shift inside myself. You watch it in a Darth Vader eat him up inside, things that he think he can control, and he's just trying to protect the loves of his life, but it eats him up inside. The anger, it kills Darth Vader, and he doesn't even see it, and everything he wants, the love, the children, everything he wants is thwarted by negativity and emotionality, and sitting there going, like, instead of like, okay, I learned a lesson, it's more like I'm feeling a feeling. And that's what most people do. They want to stay in a zone of feels, right? This side of their brain where, I keep saying it, but I'll leave you with it. I always leave the best for last. But when I was watching that movie, it was, I think it was a TV series or something, HBO, whatever. But when they were saying is, Homeboy was, it was Freud, a remake of Freud. I think it was just called Freud. And Freud would say, there's a light in a house, and it flickers to and from. There's certain rooms that we just don't go. There's certain attics and basements in all of our minds. And how do we keep that flickering, this light, from going to and from so fast to these rooms of our minds? We were this dark side, this light side, this pervert side, this virtual signaling side. We constantly are shifting these frequencies around, and that's why I was like, shifting is so important. Shift happens. Not shit happens. Shift happens. And if you're the type of person that can shift their mode, this guy was feeling a certain way before he started interviewing this girl, right? And then now he's feeling a different way. I'm sure in the morning he probably had a sad thought, but now he's having a happy thought because he's out there filming and being creative and getting his life to shift. It's no possible that he can feel the same way when he's outside of the house, off of the couch, and doing something differently. So that's what I was like, okay, this is this kind of transformation that when you're sitting in a situation, and I was just looking at it yesterday, and I'm like, everywhere we go, it's another shift of a birthday. Someone else is going into work, wearing different clothes. We're all shifting constantly, going through these scenarios. And how do we exist in those moments? Were we there and present, or were we in a different realm and shifting our frequencies between vacillating and emotionality and regret? Or are we the types to actually get in the game and see with our realize that we can shift this energy inside of ourselves, realize that focus is what we lack, discipline is what we need. And if we had a chance, or if we gave ourselves a chance to shift, what a blessing it would be. You know what I mean? Like, I really do touch my heart for that you can get past anything. And I've been through some things, and I would it would have stopped me 7, 8, 9, 10 times ago. But this heart keeps beating. Thankfully, for all my friends where their hearts don't beat anymore, I make sure that I beat my heart. I make sure that it keeps going for something that I care about instead of something that I dread about. And this is what I want people to see. This was the shifting of Saint's addiction, to get back to my turn those negatives into positives, create this realm inside my brain where I can put more frequency and light and currency into what I want it to be instead of what I think it should be, you know? So a lot of us get mad that life isn't the way that we want it to be. It's not set up like that, but it's the way that we create it to be. And that's what I've been trying to say. Peace and love. And as always, Chigatan. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe below. But I will see you on the other side. I am here in Finland. The other side of the world. The other side of your excuses, right? And the other side of your fear, because that's where I'll be, living in that realm, that peace, that situation, instead of in here in this devastation and what I didn't want to happen. So it's already happened. So let's create what I want to happen next. And that's why I say, make it happen, Captain. One of my shirt designs. Go buy a shirt. Peace. Boom, baby. Boom.